students. Today I shall be talking about benign breast diseases. First, the congenital disease of the breast. This includes aphasia. Aphasia means absence of breast. The breast may be absent on one side or on both sides. One side breast abscess is common. This is associated with the other congenital anomalies also sometimes. Absence of breast sometimes is associated with absence of external head of pectoralis major muscles. This condition is known as Poland syndrome after the name of a surgeon, Poland. Then sometimes may be more than one breast on one side. That condition is known as polymagia. The common sites of ectopic breasts, they are the groin, the axilla, buttocks, and even the thigh. Presence of accessory breast starts functioning during lactation. If the breast is ectopic or accessory and causing symptoms, inconvenience to the patient, it may be excised. Then coming to trauma to the breast, it includes presence of hematoma in the breast. Hematoma, if associated with traumatic bruising, can be easily diagnosed. But after few weeks or few days, if untreated in a healing or resolving hematoma, it is difficult to diagnose sometimes because the skin becomes normal and it presents in the form of a lump. The lump may be firm, difficult to differentiate from tumors, even carcinoma in middle age generally. In that case, FNSC or biopsy can be conclusive. Early big hematoma can be drained by a small incision. Then other injuries are acute fat necrosis. This necrosis of the fat due to trauma may be due to direct injury or it may be due to violent contraction of pectoralis major muscles. Then the resolving fat necrosis, again it forms as a lump. It forms as a hard lump. History of trauma does not conclude in all the cases because a trivial trauma may be to the patient and may instigate the patient to correlate the lump with the trauma. So we should be careful before the designating the lump due to trauma. Again, the FNSC and histopathology is diagnostic. treatment of acute fat necrosis, it may resolve by itself, but if the lump is firm and hard and causing anxiety to the patient, we may excise the necrosed fat. Now, coming to seat belt injury, it is due to sudden deacceleration injury and may injure the patient breast by bisecting it, or there may be avulsion of the breast. Next is to discuss the inflammations of the breast or mastitis. The debris blocks the lactiferous ducts. Milk is stagnated in the ampulla as well as the dilated lactiferous ducts. Staphylococcus causes clotting of the milk, further infection, pus formations. So, generalized cellulitis of the breast leads later on to localized abscess or abscess in the breast. So, treatment is to be started when the inflammation starts. All the features of inflammation are present from the start of infection. So, suitable antibiotics, especially flucloxacillin or amoxiclavonic acid, 625 mg BD is advocated, along with the rest to the breast by breast support. Breastfeeding is continued if the child can suck the breast. If not, breast is imparted by negative suction. Use of breast lumps. Most of the cases resolve. In few cases, the condition does not resolve. In that case, it leads to abscess. When abscess is formed and diagnosed usually by diagnostic aspiration, in that case, after going for blood investigations, total differential with neutrophilia, raised total count, and presence of pus is an indication of incision and drainage. In breast abscess, in every case, dependent drainage should be done. If the abscess is in the upper part, a counter drain in the lower part should be given. After drainage, the cavity is packed with ribbon gauze or sterilized bandage. It acts both ways. It controls hemostasis as well as the secretions are expelled from the cavity. Doing dressing alternate day, the abscess cavity usually heals in 2 to 4 weeks time if the abscess is large. In our part, sometimes whole breast is converted into a bag of pus. In neglected cases which come from the rural areas, this is a common problem. During drainage of abscess, all the septa and locula are broken with the introduction of fingers. If it is not done the abscess will fail to heal because there are different compartments in the abscess cavity. So we have to break all the locula. So this is about the acute bacterial mastitis leading to abscess. Again, the proper antibiotic commonly used is flucloxacillin or in addition to it amoxiclav, and also after pus culture depending on the sensitivity reports. So is the acute bacterial thing is important to note about acute fat necrosis of the breast, that skin overlying the breast is tethered. Sometimes even there is retraction of the nipple. So we have to exclude carcinoma by FNSC, biopsy, mammography and other imaging techniques. One important entity is diffuse hypertrophy of the breast. Sometimes occurs in young girls. Sometimes it is unilateral, sometimes bilateral. This is thought to be due to sensitivity of the breast tissue in excess due to estrogenic hormones. This is also known as benign virginal hypertrophy of the breast. Some benefit is attained by giving anti-estrogens. In some cases where there is inconvenience due to large breast, reduction mammoplasty can be done, preserving all the ducts or secretory elements. After that, I will talk about the inflammations of the breast or mastitis. This mastitis occurs sometimes in infants, either male or female. There is secretions in the breast, a small amount. If the breast is pressed lightly on the third or fourth day, later on, in few days, there is slight milky secretions. This milky secretion is due to effects of prolactin on breast, while the maternal estrogen is decreasing in the newborn. The condition resolves itself in 3 to 4 weeks time, rather 3 weeks time, and does not require any treatment. Sometimes in infants, mastitis is due to Staph aureus infection. This is acquired in hospital pus. If the pus forms, it is drained. Proper antibiotic is given. Then coming to acute and subacute mastitis. Acute mastitis is common in lactation. It starts usually after sore nipple or cracks in the nipple. Sometimes the infection comes from neonates sucking, because more than half of the infants born in hospitals, they harbor Staph aureus in their nasopharynx. Next cause of acute mastitis during lactation is inverted nipple or retracted nipple from childhood to puberty. What happens? The lactiferous ducts, they are blocked by the debris. After the acute mastitis and abscess of the breast, I shall be talking about today about the antibioma. The breast abscess develops after long standing treatment with antibiotics. Antibioma that becomes a firm lump, then the wall of the lump is formed. In all the features of antibioma simulates as if it is a tumor of the breast. In that case, investigations are required to exclude malignancy in some cases. History is helpful. There is history of cellulitis in the breast 1 to 2 months back, or maybe a smaller period. Injudicious use of history of antibiotics is there. Blood investigations may be normal, but FNAC is diagnostic. If inconclusive, go for mammography and ultrasonography. Sometimes, where facilities of investigations are not present, we can aspirate it, the swelling, if presumed to be antibioma. During aspiration, a sterile pus may come from the center of the swelling. After antibioma is diagnosed, we excise the lump, drain the pus, all the thick fibrous tissue is removed so that induration does not persist after healing of the wound. So after antibioma, there is an entity in the breast. We call it Maunders disease. It is a disease of skin overlying the breast. The veins over the breast suffers superficial thrombophlebitis. The exact etiology of is unknown. It may be due to excessive use of the arm. Then, if the arm is raised, a cord-like structure appears over the breast and the chest wall. There is slight depression longitudinally along the side of the firm veins. In that case, we go for advising the rest to the arm. The condition resolves by itself. Sometimes it may mimic the infiltration of lymphatics or veins by the malignant tissue of the breast. So it may be confused, but the diagnosis is usually clear and resolves by itself. Next is chronic abscesses of the breast, chronic mammary mastitis. It may result from inadequately drained breast abscess or not dependent drainage. Chronicity may occur, or a sinus may persist that will require a second operation. So the breast abscess must be drained adequately. Now, other conditions are tuberculosis of the breast. There may be multiple abscesses, multiple sinuses, or there may be even the tuberculous ulcer. There is history of cervical tuberculosis and the pulmonary tuberculosis or tuberculosis in the past anywhere in the body. Treatment is drainage of abscess, dressing of the wounds, followed by tuberculous chemotherapy. The wounds invariably heals, and the mastectomy for tuberculosis almost never required. Then coming to actinomycosis of the breast. Actinomycosis is usually associated with cervical actinomycosis, presence of sulfur granules and the fungal hypha is diagnostic. Treatment is by dressing of the wound followed by cotrimoxazole. Then other conditions of the breast are benign condition, ductectasia. There is dilatation of the lactiferous ducts. The dilatation helps in accumulating the secretions. The color of the secretions is usually green or brown. Sometimes black secretions is also there. It is thought to be due to periductal mastitis. The secretions, they cause inflammation in the periductal tissues. The inflammation becomes chronic. Sometimes due to a stagnation and dilatation of the ducts and proximal stricture, the abscess forms. There may be fistula. It may present ductectasia as the lump. The lump is subareolar, sometimes difficult to differentiate from carcinoma. In that case, all the investigations have to be done. The color of the discharge, long duration of the lump, followed by investigations is diagnostic. Ductectasia is usually associated with smokers. It is less common in non-smokers. A stoppage of smoking helps in cure of the disease. But when there are multiple sinuses or the lump persists, in that case, excision of that segment of the duct, if it is demarcated, is helpful. Sometimes multiple ducts can be removed. The end of the lactiferous ducts should be shaved from under surface of the nipple so that infected ducts does not persist below the nipple. This operation, removal of multiple ducts from fascia of pectoralis major muscles to the nipple, is known as Hadfield's operation. Wound is closed after death. This is curative. The lump or the tissue is sent for histopathological examination. So this finishes today the benign conditions of the breast. Next day I shall be dealing with the ND. Thank you.